there's some events that we spend so much money, but I'm not enjoying it as much as an event that we didn't even spend a lot. So, but it is sometimes it's the people, it's the energy you get, it is the way you are treated, the respect, the love that you get from your clients. Those are some of my favorite events.
Hey guys, how you doing today? Welcome to another beautiful episode of Leadership Podcast with me, Stephen Akintayo. And today I have an amazing guest in the building, and she is none other than the event queen. Mrs. Bucknor, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I noticed you've been doing a few podcasts recently. A few.
Yeah. I mean, I've always done them, but I've just not posted them, or maybe I did one 10 years ago. I'm thinking, okay, now it's time. So, it's never too late to just share knowledge.
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what, it's time, let's do this.
Interesting. The names Zapphaire, some probably still call it Zapphaire. Where did it come from?
You want the truth?
Yes.
The absolute truth.
Yes.
The truth is, I would say, I don't want to say divine inspiration or you sat somewhere, but what it was, I sat one day, I was just in my office and I was thinking, what name can I give this business? So I thought of Zapphaire, the stone, Zapphaire. Okay. But I said, everyone is going to be saying Zapphaire. Yeah. Everybody now is common. So I said, you know what? Let me just change the S to Z and just make it a bit different. Nice. That was just it. That was it. Nothing too, some will say as I was walking, then the name just drops and God just is, no, it's not like that. Just change that. Yeah, that was it.
But when you started, did you believe it was going to be this big?
Wow. No. And I'm very honest. When I started, don't forget, I was a pioneer. And at that time...
What year?
2002. 2002. So we're dealing with about 23 years now. So 2002. But I'd been planning off and on for people maybe since 2001, 2000. So but when I started, I just loved it. I just saw that people, needed this, because everybody was always stressed when they were planning the event. And I thought, let me help you take the stress off, and that was it. But I did not know that it would become what it is today.
Wow.
Or to be very honest, I didn't have a big vision. My vision was, we can take the stress off you. That was the vision, I mean, so it was just a case of, let me just help you take the stress off. Let me help you plan your event. Let me help you organize. I want you to have a good time while planning your event. So that was it. So I never saw this. I never saw the vastness, the depth, the money, the growth of the industry, where it has now become something that is what are people's profession. I never saw that. I didn't see it.
But what was in you that made you feel, I have the capacity to carry people's burden and carry their headache on my head?
I think the first thing was my energy. So, energetic mama, right? Energetic FBO, not mama, FBO, please. Yes. So I think right from when I was young, and sometimes when you're a young person, you don't know that some of the strengths you have or some of the things in your personality can actually would actually play a role in your life in the future. So as a young person, I was always the one. I was the life of the party. When I mean the life of party, not life of party of wild, but more like I was the connector. So I was the one that, if people needed to do something, you know what, let's put it together. We need to organize. I'll be the one to call the person that is doing the food. I'll be the one to call somebody that's going to bring the tablecloth. So I was that kind of person. Even from secondary school, I was in the midst. I would be in the leads. I would, in fact, I nearly became social prefect. A lot of people thought I was, but I nearly became, because I was just that kind of person. I had a lot of friends. I was very social. So that, and then anybody would want to do something, they would call me, Funke, help me. Okay, Funke, I have a dress. Can you publicize it for me? That was how that started. So when I saw my friends were getting married, my friends' sisters were getting married, they were just overwhelmed. They were stressed. And I just thought, I have the capacity. I can help you. Why you? I can run here. I can go here. I can do this. I can do that. Oh yeah. Bring this burden. That was just what it was. I just saw that there was just that gap because in Nigeria at that time, especially in Lagos, people were not doing their events professionally. It was very, oh, my uncle will do this, my auntie will sort this, my sister will help me. But when I now said, there can be a better way of doing this, and that was it. So I was like, I can help you take the stress off. That was how it started, of course, before it now evolved into other things. Yes.
But how did you manage the complexity of event planning? Because it could be political, particularly if it's wedding,
yes.
Grooms will parent, and everybody wants to have their input, everybody wants to, how have you worked on that? Because that's a very very good question that is still it's still happening today. So when it comes to weddings, we do all kinds of events, but when it comes to weddings, as you said, and especially is to first of all understand the stakeholders of each of your events. Who are the stakeholders? Who are the decision makers? Who do you need to please? You have to learn diplomacy. One of the things I teach in the training school, my training school, is you must be diplomatic as an event producer. Wow. You must learn the art of diplomacy. Wow. What do you say at this time? What don't you say? When do you have to learn how to read the room. You have to learn when to keep quiet, when to speak, when to add value, when to step back and really, really listen. So understand all the stakeholders. Is it the bride? Is it the groom? Is it the groom's mom? Is it the bride's mom? Is it the groom's dad? Is it an auntie? Is it an uncle? Just understand the stakeholders. And then when you do that, and which is also what you need to do for any business anyway, even in whether it's corporate events, whether it's a lifestyle, whatever you're doing, just understand this. Who are the decision makers? Who are not the decision makers, but they can influence the decision makers. So just understand that. And then just try to make sure that everybody goes away looking good and feeling good. So that's where interpersonal skills come in. You have to learn, how to emotional intelligence.
You have to make people feel like they're kings and queens. So at the end of the day, they're like, oh my God, they were so amazing. Just because of how you played everything out. So that's how we're able to manage that. It wasn't easy at the beginning because I was a young person, 23, 24. What did I know? What am I? How do I know that I have to suck up to Uncle Shola? Then suck up to, but time and experience taught me. But even about the very beginning, I realized that, oh my God, you know what? I need to do this. Okay, I need to manage that person. I need to do this. I started learning it very early.
Somebody taught you?
No one taught me. I had to learn. I learned it on the job. I learned it.
Have you ever had an outburst where enough? I've had it.
I don't know. Should we be speaking? Should we come and say truths here?
Yes, it's both true.
The truth is, I've had, once or twice, I've actually had, not an outburst. I won't be rude to a client. That's one thing. I am, no matter how upset I am or angry I am, I go back to talk to myself. And that's why I'm very careful. I always tell people, especially with all the people online and everything, say, look, you have to, yes, they say the customer is not always right now. That's what people are saying. But guess what? These are the people that have come to your business. You have to be careful how you communicate. So there are times I'm really, I am so upset. And once or twice, maybe I've spoken, not shouting or angry or whatever, but maybe my tone. So you have to be careful with the tone. So when my tone is I'm getting a bit upset, my team, and that's why it's also important to have a good team. They'll say, FB, it's as if your voice is changing. It's as if you're getting upset. FB, just tell them you're coming. So I just say, oh, you know what, can I just have a minute? I just need to quickly do something because I want to go and calm myself down to say, hey, what nonsense is all this, But really, I remember one client, and we now have a fantastic relationship. He had said something and I was not happy about it. And I said, oh, I'm the expert. You need to listen to me. He found that very offensive. He found that I said that to him. So I didn't even know that was what was upsetting him. And he just went on and on. We both had to apologize. And I said, you know what? I'm sorry for saying that. And after that, he came to shake me. He was like, amazing, fantastic. He even dashed us extra money, and has become a fantastic client. So it's important that even if the relationship or with your client, you are not as happy, be careful of how you communicate. That's just what I would just say.
But if you are this sanguine personality and you want to do event planning,
Yes.
how do you work on that? Because I've had an event planner before that I just said I would never work with this person, right? Because my story was all over the place. Literally, I could be hearing, she claiming this, claiming that, and I'm like, oh, it's so unprofessional.
No, yes.
So if you're sanguine, I just like to talk, but but you like event planning. How do you
balance it, right?
So that you can be professional and then people don't start hearing their stories.
I like this thing you said, because one of the topics I spoke about one time was discretion.
Yeah.
Protecting your client.
Yeah.
I'm very hyper. I love laughing, but I can be discreet. So it's not everything you say. It's not everything you go and talk. People have to learn. You see, sometimes being self-aware of your personality, self-aware of your strengths, self-aware of your skills is very important. It's not everybody that is self-aware. So when you are self-aware, as much as, one of my friends would tell me, she said to me, Funke, as much as you are so hyper, because when my friends that are my best friends today, before they became my best friends, they thought that I was so hyper that Shola's gist, Bola would hear it.
Yeah.
But they realized that I was not like that. In fact, they'll be like, so we are best of friends. But so I understand how to protect the client. I understand that it's not, because see, your clients will upset you.
Yeah.
Your clients will annoy you. It's not every time that is perfect. It's like a relationship with your husband, your wife, your children.
True.
It's not rosy now.
Yeah.
But how are you protecting your home? How are you protecting your clients? How are you protecting your business? You have to learn that it's not everything you speak. You have to be professional at all times.
Yeah.
That is just what it is. So having a sanguine personality with a choleric, with all that personality, I had to go and learn how to be discreet.
Wow.
And just but the key thing there is being self-aware. Understanding who you are, understanding what your business is. Because if, for example, we've done events before where maybe the clients have spent over, maybe let me even say, 1 billion naira on the total event. If you ask me, I'm not going to tell you the client spent 1 billion.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, just be thinking within the range of 400 to 1 billion or 2 billion. Because I don't want you to go and say, they spent 1 billion. Or you come, this event, look at how they did. The mommy was fighting them yesterday. Hey, the man did not have money. No, there's no need. Yeah. So because you have to just really maintain relationships. And it's very difficult when a relationship has been destroyed.
Yeah,
it's difficult to build back. So I had to be self-aware, and my team were big on that. You know what? Even us, we can talk or we can laugh and say, can you imagine? It stays between us.
It must not go.
Outside there, nobody must know what is going on. Nobody must. In fact, a client sent me a message yesterday or 2 days ago. He said, Funke, thank you for always covering our back. I said, what did I do? He said, don't worry, you don't even know what you did. You understand that kind of thing? Just because of how we reacted to a situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Of all your events, which will you say is your favorite?
Oh my God. No, I cannot tell you. There's no favorite. You want all my clients to come and cut my neck. But what I would say is this. Every event is so different. And with every event, what I always tell my team, and even is that you have to see the joy or what is different about this client or this event. We've done an event for a family, 5 children in the same family, but all the events are different. All the events were different. And for some events, it could be when the bride and groom were saying their vows. For some events, it could be when a celebrant that is celebrating 60, is just so happy. It could be when someone that is 90 is still alive and dancing. Or someone that is 80, or you do a corporate event, maybe someone's 10-year anniversary, you do a conference, and the joy you get from the client. Those events are my favorite. So that's why almost all events are favorites, because every event is so unique and different, and they bring something that is not tangible. So yes, there's some events that we spend so much money, but I'm not enjoying it as much as an event that we didn't even spend a lot. So, but sometimes it's the people, it's the energy you get, it is the It is the way you are treated, the respect, the love that you get from your clients. Those are some of my favorite events. So I've done over 4,000 events. So you can imagine if I tell you that I cannot tell you a favorite event, that's just because in the space of 23 years, I've met different people. It's like I've been a part of people's lives. So for each event, I would say every event is a favorite for me because I find something in each one that makes me happy. I mean, I still cry at weddings. Somebody said, after Funke, you've been doing this for so long. I said, I love love. Look at it, oh my God. Oh, look at the way the mom is dancing. Even moments of maybe where, the groom has lost his mom and it's an auntie that is stepping in. Or, the bride is leaving her dad and she's crying. Or, the bride and groom, they're thinking about all the things that they went through years and years ago and they're just crying together. Those kind of things, those moments, it makes, it's very emotional. So those are some of our favorite. Every event is my favorite. All of you, I love you all.
That's a political answer. That's a very, very political. Very. Looking at it, 22 years now, in a country where high competition, once one person gets it, people are ready to run you out of the market. What do you think has kept your brand these years?
Thank you for this very good question. I would say, first of all, the ability to always reinvent. You are not stagnant. So I told you that at the beginning, the vision was we can take the stress off you. That was our tagline.
Yeah.
But as the business grew, we realized that couldn't be the only thing we will do. We can take the stress off you, but you also want an experience. You also want to do more things. So our vision now became, we want to be the world-class event solution provider. World-class. When you're thinking of events and you're thinking of solutions, we are that person. So it means that anything event, it is us. So the important thing is, in any business, you must continue to reinvent. You can't say, you can't say that this is how it has been done. So you must reinvent yourself. You must evolve, right? Innovation, very important, right? Of course, you must diversify. That's one of the things that has kept us. Another thing is also building and empowering a team. So making sure that it is not just Funke, it is not just me. It is that the people that surround you, you are empowering them, you're building them, you are pushing them out there. They're like stars. So when a client wants to talk to me or I'm not available, they can talk to them, or they talk to them without even talking to me at all. That is one of the things that has kept us, because we've been able to build structure. So structure, the process, the policies, and we're always retweaking. We're always working on it. We're always saying, what, this is the goal. This is our goal for this year. But how can we tweak it? What can we do? Okay, maybe we didn't do right in this one, but we can do better this way. So it's just that realizing that you are in this business for the long haul. There'll be challenges, there'll be failures, there'll be mistakes. But how do you get up from there and just continue to do better? It's about great vision, really. When you have vision and you have the people to run, because you can have vision and you can't run it, you can't do it by yourself. So you have the vision, right? You have the people, you have a good product. So another thing is also for us is also that for all we're doing, we're always like, we're number one. We want to continue to be number one. Pioneer, 23 years, Africa, Nigeria, you understand? We are constantly raising the bar. So there's that constant, hey, don't sit down. Don't just sit down. People are coming. But you have to continue to be a pace setter. You have to continue to run ahead. You have to continue to just always think of the next big thing. Even inside your business, think inside the business. So what would I say about that? Some people are always thinking, hey, we're always looking for new clients. We want new business. The one inside, the people inside, your clients that you even have, how are you treating them? How are you dealing with them? How are you working with them? How are you ensuring that they sing your praises? So that's another one is also maintaining relationships.
Yeah.
Maintaining relationships.
Very important one for your food.
Maintaining relationships. Yeah. We've planned, I remember the journey of the life cycle of a client. So, having that life cycle, you plan a wedding for someone. There's a client of ours, we planned our wedding 20 years ago. We've planned our mommy's birthday, our daddy's birthday, our daddy's 70th, our daddy's 60, 70, 80. You know, you are just life cycle. A child is doing dedication, you are doing it. 10-year-old event, you are doing it. Their office is having an end of year party. They are doing a product launch, you are inside. Because you are looking at the life cycle. You're not just looking at the client for one transaction. It is a relationship for life. Till the end, you know, do you understand? So it's very important about maintaining and building relationships. Never forgetting, you know, that these people were there. People that, you know, they believed in the brand.
Yeah.
They believed in your dream.
Yeah.
How do you constantly get them to continue building? So you can't stay stagnant. You must grow. You must learn. Another one is also education. Constantly learning, constantly training, constantly like thinking, hey, where are we going next? What are we doing? Where am I? You know, that kind of thing. So that's how we've been able to stay relevant, grow, you know, and be consistent in the last 23 years.
Have you, I mean, I'll be surprised if you say you've not, but how do you deal with betrayal? Because, you know, you mentor somebody or they're working for you, and in fact, we are having some issues where, you know, even up till last night, you know, so a client was still complaining that one of your staff reached out to me trying to market another company. I just blocked the person. You know, you see people just saying, why can't people just respect that? The contacts you got, you know, while you were in a company, you can't just go and be pitching them in a rude way. Some of those people will feel bad. You can't talk to me. I knew your boss or where you used to work. Try and create new relationship. So how have you dealt with those kind of experiences?
Okay. Earlier on, you know, and this is also where growth and maturity comes. At the beginning stage, when some of these things would happen, I used to feel very offended. I used to think, my goodness, why would you do this, right? But as I grew older and as the business grew older, I realized that people will do it. There's nothing you can do about that. But how do you react to it? And the reaction, one of the ways I had to learn how to deal with it was, look, you are unique. You are who you are. Your business is what the business is. And there's nobody else that can do the business like the way you do the business. So even if they go and, you know, they poach or whatever they do, your clients, the ones that are for you are for you. So you have to have that mentality and understand that. And then, you know, maybe because I'm also a Christian as well, you know, I just say, you know what, God is here. Do you understand? He understands. He's in charge of it all. We'll be okay. Do you understand what I mean? You know, when he talks about, you know, the birds of the air, they're all flying in there, they're not hitting each other. It's just for people, and people will recognize. It has happened. People have come back to me 5 years after to apologize. They'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, can you forgive me?" I'll be like, oh, I've even forgotten you. and I treat everybody with the love, with the love of God. You know, when you have the love of God in you, you will love people with kindness. You will treat them with kindness. So even if they want to think of doing, even when they do it, they are the ones that will be like, man, I think I didn't do well. You understand what I mean? No, people will come and say, oh, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm going to be doing fashion. Then the next thing they're doing events. Oh, I'm leaving. Or you send somebody to training in America. The next thing, 1 week after the training, person say, I think I've been having a deja vu moment in my head. And this is the time that I want to go. I'll be like, okay, all right then. Okay, bye. You know, that kind of thing. But those people now they are now my babies. They call them my babies. So I've just looked at it like, you know what? I've deposited seeds on the inside of all these people. The knowledge you've gotten nowadays, I get messages from people that have left the organization all over the world. They'll say, the things I learned, what I did. They're telling me that the reason I got promoted. If a girl told me now that she got promoted, she's now a top manager. She got promoted just because of the work ethics she got when she was in Zapphaire. So those things, that is life. Do you understand?
But how do you handle when the customer themselves are pissed off?
Hey, you just have to tell the customer sorry. No, I just think that for the customers to also tell you, I also think the customer loves the brand
Of
and
course.
they care. So what the customer should just do is don't just engage with them anymore. Just continue with us. At least you've told us, and we are aware of what this person is doing.
Yeah.
So we know maybe what to put prevention or
Exactly
put
my
things
point.
in place.
Yeah.
To say, what this
Policies
person
going forward
exactly.
to also tell people, don't, because there's nothing wrong if somebody genuinely want to work with you after you've left where you used to.
Oh, of course.
That's not an issue. But what's bad is when they feel like you are coming to, there's a way people just feel, no, this is not ethical.
Yes, yes.
It's a different if you
learn.
stylishly build relationship. And I think those who are watching this, if you leave a company, you can stylishly keep building relationship with the former, but don't go directly.
Don't make it too obvious. Yes. Don't make it. There are people that have left that clients will even call me and say, oh, this person used to work with you.
Yeah.
Can I? I'll be like, oh my God. I'll be the one to say, I'm recommending the person.
Yes.
Oh, this person is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not available, but you know what? I will recommend this person. Remember when he was with us, it was one of your projects.
Yes.
But right now he's on his own.
Yes.
You can use it.
Absolutely.
That's it. And that's how people don't realize that you just continue to build that relationship. Yeah.
There's an approach.
Yes.
For me, because it's good to clarify.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in
yes.
that somebody used to be a client of your former boss and is working with you. But don't make it look like you are forcing it.
Exactly.
Because sometimes even they themselves don't like it.
Yes.
And some even, in fact, in our kind of world, you see some of them say, this is data protection. This is, it should be, can it come?
Like, how do they even have my number?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are they,
why are they having to, it becomes an issue for customers. I want to talk about your late sister. She's somebody, I don't know if I've shared the story with you. We used to run a foundation years ago.
Okay.
And, we reach out to her to help with, promotion, media, interviewers. In fact, most people don't know, I started with an NGO, actually, not with business.
You started with who?
An NGO.
Oh,
and not a
wow,
business.
wow.
Yes. We used to work with orphans.
Oh.
This was 17 years ago or so. Or a little bit, yeah. And she was so kind. Did not charge us a dime. She anchored one of our events and did not charge a dime.
Oh, wow. That's my sister.
Yes. And I just so loved her. I remember I've always said, one day I want to pay this lady back. Of course I didn't get the chance. But who was she really to you?
My sister. Hey, my sister. Tosin was, we're just two children growing up that I recall. My other siblings had passed when they were younger. So we were just two of us. And Tosin was just, I would say, a breath of fresh air. She was a very naughty child, growing up, of course. And also growing up with sickle cell. She was ill a lot when she was younger. And I didn't really understand it as well. All I just knew was my parents were always going to the hospital. She was very fragile. They didn't want, and she was, used to be in pain sometimes. But as she grew older and I grew older, we began to understand what was happening and the condition. And she began to embrace, that condition, And I saw her. She was such a brilliant person. She was very smart.
Yeah.
She knew everything about anything. She was my walking dictionary, walking thesaurus, whatever. Funke, wow, encyclopedia.
Yeah.
She was just so smart.
Yeah.
And I used to admire her a lot.
Yeah.
If I was telling someone this morning that she was on radio 5:30 or 5:30 every day for over 10 years. I don't know how she did that. Like she was so consistent, and she built a brand. Yeah. She was a script writer. She acted. She did music. She produced. She did content creation. She was a social media person. She was an author.
Yeah. She was one of the earliest
social all those content creators. Yeah. My sister, God,
one of the pioneers.
Pioneer, like all those things that people, So she was, and she loved football. She knew football. Hey, Man U was of course her team, but she knew everything. She could speak Yoruba so well. Meanwhile, we grew up in the same. I was like, Chelsea, how do you know Yoruba like this? She could speak it so well. English, she was a girl of English. If I didn't know how to pronounce something, she would pronounce it. She would help me write. So when she passed, it was as if I didn't know what to do with my life anymore, because she was my confidant. She was the one that, how it is that I'll say, Tosin, please, they've called me for an interview. They said I should write my answers. I'll just speak. The way I'm just speaking now. Tosin will you just see the words.
Wow.
Maybe I've said hello. Tosin will just say, pronto, the way you can. I'll be like, oh my God, this guy, your English. And so I didn't know. So for a long time, which is also why I stopped my, because she was one that helped me with my YouTube when I used to do it. She was my producer, she was the director, she was the script writer, everything. So when she passed, I was in a funk, because I just didn't know. I couldn't write well, I couldn't speak, I was just like, what am I going to do? But I knew that there was just a reason. She came into our lives, those short years, just to show us that you could do so much. I met a girl today that said to me, I've always been different, but she said, look, because of her, I am SS, and I am in the media space because of Tosin. Because of her, I can do this. People would call me and say, because of her. There were people that would send me messages. I was an intern, and now I am a business consultant, because she gave me a chance. She didn't ask me for money. Artists will tell you on her show, she never asked an artist for a dime to play their music. Wow. She was one of the only few OAPs that never asked any artist to say pay before we'll play your music. So because of Tosin, I now became because of Tosin, all the big artists, they just say, oh, Tosin Bucknor's sister. I say, oh yeah. And I became friend. I knew all of them, so because of Tosin. So she had a name for her music called Contradiction. So she was, I would say, why is Contradiction? Contradiction was, she was an introvert, but she had to be extroverted because of work. Wow. She was smart, but she had to sometimes downplay that. Yeah. She was she had so many, of course she wasn't perfect, right? But she had so many great qualities. And I tell God that you gave this girl so much. And you knew this world just needed her for such a short time, but you just gave her a lot for this family to be able to just, I would say, love and adore her, and for her to be able to give to the world.
She did.
Because there's so many people that I never knew. I didn't even know. They'll just be sending me pictures. Oh, she gave me a chance. When it was social media, she brought me. This one will say, oh, I'm like, Tosin. So that was Tosin for you. So when you said that she didn't collect money, she did this, I said, that's my sister. She was not about that life, it was like, let's just get this thing done. Yeah, she was very selfless. You got it. Yeah,
very selfless.
That's Tosin for you.
May I so rest in peace.
Amen.
But where did you both get that energy from? Because it's just
maybe my mom. So my mom is very energetic, though. Okay. My mom, hey, she's so energetic. But my dad as well. Yeah. My dad is not as energetic, but my dad was, so my mom is the enterprising, energetic, hard working in that area, businesswoman. My mom has done multiple businesses. But my dad was the brainiac, the smart one, the one that could read. My dad knew everything. My dad was like, so it was almost like there was a mix of both of us. My parents, that mix, we both had it. So I took maybe more of my dad and more of my mom. She took more of my dad. Do you understand what I mean? So, but that balance was also in each of us, right? Yeah. So I think it was really from our parents. But also, apart from our parents, also just understanding that we're all very unique. Tosin was one of the people that taught me very early on to say, stay where you are loved. Stay where you are appreciated. Funke, don't try to do too much to the world. Where you are, where people say, I love this girl, I love this brand, that's where you should stay. Don't try and be everything to everybody. So that was Tosin taught me that. So yeah, so I think that was it. So we realized that, look, you know what, be yourself, and just do what you love to do, or what you I would say ordained, to do. And that was it. Oh, that was it. I remember, in fact, as you're talking, I just remember when Tosin was, I think she was 12 or 13. She wrote a poetry. She got into a poetry competition. Tosin went to America by herself.
Wow.
By herself. Wow. Went to apply for visa. Did this. But me, I had not even gotten an American visa at that time. By herself. I will never forget. She went for this poetry competition. Over 2,000 poets went to a convention in America. And she now made friends with people That's
Wow.
till today. They'll be sending me messages from America
Wow.
because of my sister. So that
Wow.
was it. She was also very, what is it called? Very brave and very brave and strong because she dealt with a lot, but you wouldn't see it in her. You wouldn't, you wouldn't
even know.
You
A lot of
wouldn't-
people did not know
no,
she had
until she
sickle
passed.
cell.
I know,
Yeah,
because she did it very well.
didn't
Though
even
she
know.
did advocacy, so she did a lot
Yeah.
of things for sickle cell. She had a foundation called This Genes
Yeah.
Foundation that I've actually revived now.
Yeah.
But she did that a lot. She used to, get people to sponsor. She would sponsor people with sickle cell. She did that a lot because she also didn't want to be pitied. She didn't want you to say, oh, she's not going to be strong enough to do this event. She's not going to be. She was defiant. She just wanted to show you that she could do it. Tosi went to do NYC in Port Harcourt. I'll never forget. She was that kind of person. I did everything in Lagos. Me, Port Harcourt. She went. She stayed in the hostel. Those kind of. I'm like, how can you? I can't do this so far. She was like, no, I want to learn about life. She made friends from there. So she was that kind of person, very resilient, and very determined. So
she was.
So I think that's how we all got that energy. So we just say, you know what, we're only 2 children. Let's quickly show the world that we're like 100 children.
In picking a life partner, being self-aware of who you were, what were the things you looked out for?
Wow, Funke, my husband, let me think. Very truthfully, I would say that I was very particular about someone that was very kind. Okay. I was particular about someone that had a good sense of humor. Okay. I was particular about, of course, we all know God-fearing. I know that one because we were in the same church anyway. Okay. But it was just really City of David. I was in RCCG City of David, late Pastor Esconda, late Pastor Esco, before I now moved to Joshuaville, RCCG Joshuaville, which is like the young professionals church. Well, so that's it. And so then I remember I was just telling God that I really wanted someone that was kind, God-fearing, sense of humor, would understand me because of my personality. And that was it. So nothing, when people say, I didn't have 100 things, 100 prayer points. It was just those things. And really, honestly, and that is it. Someone that would support. Because when I met my husband, one of the things I was very fearful of or was that I am just starting this journey, right? I don't want anybody to hinder me. I don't want anybody to stop where I'm going, so I don't want to get into this. So there was a lot of communication of, this is me, this is where I'm going, even where he was, and this is where he's going. So it was very clear from the very beginning. So that's, and we just thank God.
Interesting. Looking back at all you've done, do you have any regrets?
I think that there's no one that doesn't have regrets in life about some things, but I always look at regrets as an opportunity to do something else or get it right. So sometimes you think, oh my God, maybe there was an opportunity you should have taken at that time, or maybe there should have a step, just those kind of little regrets, or maybe you should have handled the situation in a different way when it presented itself at that time. So it's just that, okay, you know what, that has gone, that has passed. How can I do it better going forward? The opportunity has gone, but there are more opportunities coming. How can I grasp those ones? The way I handle this matter, when it presents itself again, what can I do? Even if it doesn't present itself in that way, how can I even teach somebody to handle it better as well? So that's, I would say, so that's why I will not say, yes, of course there are regrets, but I'm not going to dwell on it and say, oh my God, it was really terrible. Do you understand?
How do you handle competition, and particularly when competition, I don't know that you've had that experience, but when it looks as if competitors are intentionally trying to pull your brand down?
Well, I would say that
I've never experienced it.
I've not experienced it. Maybe I would say intentionally.
Okay.
Meaning that I would know that this person is trying to destroy the brand. But competition will always be there. The key thing about it is each person has to just recognize that we're very different and unique.
True.
And people will gravitate to who they want to.
Exactly.
Whoever the brand they like is. So if we all respect and understand that, it will be good for us all. Of course, as a growing business, when we started, we were, of course, first mover advantage. We're the only ones, one or two of the only ones in the space. You know, you are the love of everybody's, all of you, everybody wants you. Then all of a sudden, more people start coming into the space.
Yeah.
So you now begin to think about how to set yourself apart, how to continue to, be the trailblazer that you were when you started, so that you are not they forgot. So so I just try and concentrate on the goal, the vision, and even think about everything we're doing. How can we do it better? Oh, we speak to our clients this way. How can we speak to them better? We email them a certain way. So how do we create experiences over and over again for our clients that is different every time? Do you understand what I mean? So that is how I deal with competition. I try not to, and also with competition, I try my best as well to also see some people as collaborators,
yeah,
co-competitors.
Yes,
so we come together, we do things together. Yeah. You are great at maybe a certain type of way. You are great at, you know what, I have this project. Can we work together? Can we do it together? You are the best at this one. Me, I don't. Somebody say, Funke, no, you. So that is also very important. So I'm also being intentional and deliberate.
Yeah.
So that, but say one will chase 1,000, 10,000. So, and it's not just in your organization they're talking about you also putting that, going with the boat and just putting out your net, and then calling your friends and your colleagues to say, come and eat of this fish that we need to have caught today. So your colleagues, people that are also working in your space, but are doing some things in a different way, bring them in sometimes for some huge project. You may get some project, maybe they tell you to come and do an event for 20,000 people. You cannot say you're the only one that will do it now. Even if you have all the manpower in the world. Do you understand what I mean? It's just good to be able to diversify, right? And just put people into different roles. Yeah.
Beautiful. What's your favorite music?
Hey, oh my God. I don't have any favorite music. I'm not going to lie to anybody. Favorite music. Hey, God, what's my favorite music? Hey. Should I come and be doing like, it's a song? Oh, no. I actually don't have. I don't have a favorite music.
Movie?
I just love my 90s. I love the 90s, right?
Okay.
That kind of thing.
How about movie?
One of my favorite movies, Sound of Music. Sounds of Music, yes. I think that was one of because that was very nostalgic for me. I watched it with my parents, my sister, I watched it with my cousins. I watched it over and over again. It was romantic. It taught us about what's it called? Music. There was music in it, values, I just learned a few things from there, and it's still one of my favorite movies till date. Yes. I have many more, but Sound of Music, yes.
Okay. How about color?
My color used to be orange.
Okay.
Because when I got married, I had a white sash with orange. But now I've now become maybe more diverse. Okay. But now I think I love him black more. Black, can you imagine? But it was orange. It was orange. So let's just say orange or black.
Okay. How about food?
I don't want to advertise one company here. But noodles. Noodles.
Really?
Yeah.
At your age?
Yeah, so noodles. I love noodles. Noodles with suya. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I can't say. Are you serious? It's nice. No. When they ask something, sometimes, okay, actually, my favorite food is pasta with prawns and some. It's noodles. It's noodles. Yeah.
Wow. Since you were young, or you picked it up
secondary school. Secondary school.
Wow.
Secondary school.
You don't know the reason why?
I think when it came out, there was a particular brand that came out at that time, very popular brand, right? And we just started eating it, and I just like it's just nice. It was just nice. It's just nice. I know they say it's not healthy like that, but for you guys, I'm just saying. So please eat healthy things, fruits, whole grains. Just please don't copy me. Thank you.
If you were to be the president of Nigeria, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do differently?
Yeah.
They say that when you are in that position, it's always good to speak outside. But I think that maybe what I would just do is I would say maybe listen more.
Okay.
So listen more and just be very empathic to the people and surround myself with competent people. So it's not just by quota of maybe states, and which I know that sometimes they are bound by the constitution or bound by promises they've made. So more like surround myself with competent people that can, advise, implement, and just make things happen. I know it's a complex country, and it's going to take time to get things right. But just I would say maybe listen, just be a bit more empathic, be in tune with the people. Yeah.
So, what's your leadership advice for women in business?
Leadership advice for women in business. So women or general, just women.
Women, I think.
Women. I would say that
do both.
I'll do both. So yes, and I'll just add to the women. So you can take it. Men, please take it as well. But women, this is for us. I would say that it's very important, first of all, to understand that yes, maybe there may be some limitations as a woman in terms of being in some rooms. There's some barrier that has been kind of like set against us, maybe from the very beginning, just because of bias and things like that. But I would say that we need to just ensure that we rise above that. We rise above that to make sure that what we should be building is competence. We build competence, we build capacity. We continue to, educate ourselves, and we continue to not cower down. We push ourselves forward, and we must, as women as well, right, continue to support each other. And when we even support each other, not blindly. I always say this thing, not blindly. Because if a woman doesn't know how to do something, I'm not going to say because she's a woman, I want to put her there. No. That is why I said that we must continue to build competence, build capacity, cut ourselves some slack. Give ourselves room to fail. Because as women, we're very hard on ourselves. So it's very important that we understand that we can't do it all, right? So just that continuous, surrounding yourself with the right people, getting coached, getting advice, but don't, if they said there's no table, you bring your own table. If they say that the door is locked, go and break the door down with your leg, but the key thing is, don't stop moving. Don't stop moving. Don't stop moving. That is it. Don't stop moving. Stop moving.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Finally, how do you blend well? One of the things people say about my brand, though they don't know it was intentional, was I made up my mind. I wanted to build a brand that could be touched by both parties. I didn't like the fact that the divide between the ultra wealthy and the poor is so wide in Nigeria. So I wanted a brand that the layman can relate to, and the high in the society can also connect with. So how do you do that? Because a lot of entrepreneurs don't even know that is important. You must understand the language on the street, as well as you understand the boardroom and all of that.
I think that as entrepreneurs or as people, that's why, when you asked me that question, I said listen and being empathic. You must be empathic as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a person. You must always put yourself in other people's shoes. I'm very big on, in fact, everybody knows me. They will tell you, when it comes to the people that work with me in terms of the seemingly, not the big ones, right? Not the people that you can easily dismiss or whatever. I'm very intentional in how I take care of them. I'm very intentional in how they see how they can be better. So so that's why I make myself very relatable. So I'm relatable. So you have to be relatable. You have to humility. One of the things as well I was deliberate about is like, look, you know what? Where you got to, it's the grace of God.
True.
You didn't do it by yourself. It's not because you are the best event planner in the world. There are many other good event planners, right? Or there are many other great entrepreneurs. There are many other people that run business. There are many other people that. But guess what? You were set apart. That grace. You happen to be able to walk into rooms. You happen to be able to mix with these people. Do this. It doesn't mean that you are all that too. It doesn't mean you're all that. So you better get with the program. So, and when the Bible talks about God resists the proud. But the one that is humble, he go elevate. So I'm very big on humility. I'm very big on how am I treating the next person? How is the next? I mean, I can't take care of everybody. I can't give everybody money. I can't take all the poverty out of the world. But you can begin to divide it. You can begin to close the divide. And how do you close the divide? Is it by your impacting, by teaching, sharing knowledge like you are doing, like we are doing, whatever you can do to help, whatever it is that you can give back. So that's why giving back is so important.
It is.
And it's not giving back because you are giving back because they said you must give back. No. It's give back because you know where you were coming from.
True.
It's not everybody. I mean, everybody has different backgrounds. Some people came from wealthy homes already. Some people came from average homes. It's okay. But just even if you came from that home, it was your great grandfather did not come that way. So how do you ensure that whatever you're doing, you are closing it? Jonathan, which is why I said, giving back, impact, being relatable, humility. Oh my goodness. People don't have it. Humility.
and you have dealt with a lot of unhumble people
in
your line of work.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh no. No, I don't want that one is another story for another.
In your line of work, you will have dealt with a lot of that.
Yeah.
Well, Mrs. Bucknor, thank you for coming and thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Guys, we're done with another episode. See you next week. Bye-bye.